Hello everyone, welcome back to Kidzoba Care. As I promised, I got Binaji back with us, and today she will be actually talking about preschool, about the kids, their desires, their dreams, their hidden talents, and of course about her staff. Let's get started. Okay, Binaji, there are like so many kids in your school, and every kid is different from the other kid. And as we all know, that every kid is blessed with some or the other talent. So, how difficult or easy it is for you all to discover what talent a kid has, and how do you manage to do that?
It is in fact very easy in a Montessori environment because we have mixed age group. So like children from 2.5 to 5.5 are all in one classroom. So we would have like 7 to 8 children of between 2.5 to 3.5. Same way 7 of 3.5 to 4.5 and 7 of 4.5 to 5.5. And all there is a free progress system. And
what is that exactly?
It is like the child progresses in whatever area of in their interest. And they can go ahead as much as they want. And they may be lagging behind because there is nothing, the whole class is not rarely doing things together. So it's all individual work, but they are working besides the other children.
Alright.
So it's not like that all the children are learning color red today. It's never like that.
So it's not like a routine class setup at all?
No, not at all, not at all. In fact, all the material that we have is on open shelves, displayed on open shelves, and children are free to choose what they want.
Alright.
And the adults, we don't call them teachers, we call them directresses. So we are just directing their progress.
So how difficult it is for your directors to make sure that each child gets proper attention?
We follow the child. So if the child is progressing well as per his age, his or her age, then there is no interference. We of course show them different activities, we present to them. We show them how we work with this particular material, different materials are there. And then they carry forward. Sometimes they may not be interested in something at all. Then we try to do different things to make sure that they get to that. But sometimes we just leave them. Like I can give you an example. There was one child who was academically very bright, very highly intelligent, but did not have the motor coordination because he used to work a lot with his mind and not with his hands. So what happened was he realized that while sitting, they all sit to eat together, and he was older then, he was like 3.5, 4. And while eating, he used to spill a lot of food because his motor coordination was not well developed. And he realized that children much younger to him were able to eat without spilling at all. And then he went back to those activities which he needed to do in order to develop his motor coordination by himself.
That was all by himself, what he felt?
Absolutely.
Wow. So like you groom a kid not just physically or in the outer appearance, he actually gets groomed internally and all by himself.
Yeah, in fact, we don't do anything. We just let the child be in charge of his life.
That's brilliant. But at times I really want to know, don't you find some kid who's stubborn and probably that kid is only interested in one area of work? Probably even if I talk about studies, there are, you actually come across kids who only want to do English or who only want to do maths, or, you get these regions. So don't you find any kid who's stubborn and who doesn't want to do anything else apart from one thing? How do you deal with such situations?
It's usually not because they are stubborn, because stubbornness usually comes from confusion. But here they are, because other children are working with other material, so they are exposed to everything. And if the child is working only with math, and he's greatly interested in math, but when the advanced math material comes, the child needs to write. Because to solve problems and to do addition and multiplication, all these, child needs the skills to be able to write. Then he will have to go back to writing. Which is a part of, in our environment, is a part of the language thing. So then they themselves realize that, I cannot progress unless I work on this. So it comes from self-realization. They are motivated by themselves.
So, I mean, like, you strike a balance between oral education, written education, and at the same time physical development.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So, I mean, like, do you find it this easy or you find this difficult?
No, we find it is very simple. It just happens by itself.
And what if you don't find parents who are cooperative enough?
That is a very difficult thing.
You have to convince them to then.
We have to convince them. We sometimes catch hold of them. We keep telling them that, or you know, some children have special needs.
Correct.
But parents are not just not ready to accept it.
Correct.
That is very sad. It has happened a couple of times where we had to just you know, watch. It's very sad. Otherwise, we do help them in whatever way we can.
Correct.
But sometimes it's very hard.
But like, just out of curiosity, I want to know, at any point of time, did you find a couple, like a parent probably, who was rigid initially when the kid came to your school and was made to do all these work? So they were rigid, and after seeing the development of their kid, they like just drastically changed. Did it happen with you?
Lot of times.
And what was the reaction of those parents?
It is amazing. In fact, the more difficult the parents initially, and when they see the results in less than 1 year's time, they are transformed.
Just 1 year and kid grooms that much?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of difference. They see the independence and the behavior changing, the child taking charge of his life.
Correct.
All these things they can see. Because initially, you know, because we have a very good order in the classroom, each item has its own place.
Okay.
Like their shoes have to go in its place.
Correct.
Their bottles, whatever it is, or even the materials that otherwise we have thousands of items in the classroom. If we didn't have a specific place, it would be difficult to maintain the classroom.
Exactly.
So the order comes, the physical order. By seeing the physical order, the mental order comes.
Very
and
true.
the same is carried out at home.
Correct.
So when the parent, if a parent throws a shoe, then the child will pick up and put it in its place.
Exactly. So this also makes the child responsible, and from the very beginning, kid actually becomes and understands what is organizing all about.
Absolutely.
That's a very good training. I'm learning a lot from Beena ji about preschool, about kids, about their training and grooming. I'm sure even you are enjoying this conversation. It's not over yet. There's more to it. To see that, you need to watch the next video. Till then, bye-bye.